Who's actually going to get the most out of a high-tech recliner like the Human Touch zero-gravity massage chair, and who should walk away before they even click Add to Cart? If you're wondering whether this pricey piece of furniture can replace a weekly spa visit or whether it will just sit in the corner gathering dust, keep listening. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The big question is, does the combination of zero-gravity positioning, a 3D massage engine, and lumbar heat make sense for a regular household, or is it an overkill that will end up costing more in disappointment than in relief? When I first started digging into this chair, the thing that kept popping up was the sheer amount of hype around zero-gravity and 3D Flex Glide. Those terms sound impressive, but they also raise red flags for anyone who's ever bought a gadget that promises a spa experience at home. The risk is simple. You might spend a few $1,000s on a chair that sounds like it will melt your stress away, only to find that after a few weeks the novelty wears off and the machine either becomes noisy, stops hitting the right spots, or just feels like a fancy seat. That's why I wanted to see how the chair actually behaves in everyday scenarios, whether you're a weekend warrior with sore muscles, a desk-bound professional with a tight lower back, or a senior who just wants a gentle, warm place to relax. Let's start with the people who could truly benefit. If you're someone who spends long hours at a desk and ends each day with a tight lumbar region, the built-in lumbar heating modules could be a real game-changer. The chair uses warm air technology, which is different from the typical electric heating pads you find on car seats. Warm air spreads more evenly and can feel more like a gentle sauna for that spot. For a person with chronic low back tension, that steady, low-grade heat combined with a targeted massage could reduce the need for a separate heating pad or a quick visit to a chiropractor. The Go to Zero button is also handy. A single press and hold drops you into a neutral, weightless position that takes the pressure off the spine. In my research, a lot of users with back issues say that feeling of weightlessness can actually improve circulation and make the subsequent massage feel deeper. Now think about an athlete or a fitness enthusiast who does high-intensity training several times a week. The 3D Flex Glide 360 engine claims to follow every contour of the body, delivering strokes that move not just up and down but also side to side and in a circular motion. In a practical sense, that means you could target specific muscle groups after a heavy leg day, point to the hamstrings on the control pad, and the chair will focus the rollers there while you stay in zero gravity. The ability to customize the massage area is a strength because it removes the one-size-fits-all feel that many cheaper chairs have. For a serious recovery routine, you could replace a few weekly visits to a massage therapist, saving both time and money. On the flip side, let's talk about who should probably skip this. If you live in a small apartment and your floor plan is already tight, this chair's footprint is a major consideration. It's a full-size recliner that needs a dedicated space. Think about a living room where you already have a sofa and a coffee table. The Go to Zero motion also requires a clear area around the chair because the back tilts forward and the legs extend. You'll need at least a couple of feet of clearance on each side, which isn't realistic for many city dwellers. Additionally, the price point is well into the premium range. If your budget is tighter, the cost might outweigh the benefits, especially when you compare it to a series of professional massages or even a simpler heated pad. Noise is another practical weakness that shows up in a lot of user discussions about high-tech recliners. While the specs don't give decibel levels, the 3D motor is inherently more complex than a basic vibrating chair. In a quiet home environment, say, you're watching a movie or trying to nap, the mechanical sounds could become noticeable. If you're someone who values a silent environment, that could be a deal breaker. The same complexity also means there are more moving parts that could wear out over time. The chair is advertised as an Amazon-exclusive limited edition, which often means fewer after-sales service options compared to a brand sold through a broader dealer network. Another subtle but real concern is the learning curve. The control panel lets you point to the area you want relief, but that also means you need to spend a few minutes figuring out the interface. If you're not tech-savvy, you might end up pressing the wrong button and getting a massage on your neck when you were aiming for the lower back. That can be frustrating, especially if you're trying to unwind after a long day. The good news is the interface is designed to be visual rather